Welcome to The Proactive Woman presents the uncomfortable financial conversations with women. Are you avoiding the money conversations you know you need to have? We're talking financial stories, your financial fears, your financial future, and your financial superpowers. Welcome to the show.
I'm your co-host, Fran Marie, with our host of the show, our CBO and managing partner with JP Financial Group. It's Joyce Palmer.
Hey, Francine.
So, Joyce, with the holidays coming up, what are you going to tell us? You never tell us to stop.
I never say stop. I never say don't enjoy your monies. We have to put some guardrails up for the holidays. Well, for some people, the holidays can be really depressing financially and emotionally, just overall. And for other people, the holidays is that time of the year where they really do go overboard and they spend and they celebrate and they have parties and they go shopping and end of the year, I deserve this. And now I'm going to just let it all out because it's the holidays. So I think it's two extremes sometimes with the holidays.
Let's do a lightning round. I want you to finish this sentence. I know I spent too much, but I
deserve it. I deserve it. I got a promotion, so I got more money, so I could spend more. I just got divorced.
That's the time to celebrate.
That's it. I'm divorced and now I'm free and I'm going to celebrate that. Or I'm going to take all the monies that I received from the divorce and just blow it because it's his money. Or I worked overtime. I've been working overtime. And so I have extra money I can spend now.
But it's your emotional receipts. Because when we get home, like Joyce said, did we really need that? But then we get caught up in the lifestyle traps. Our emotions got captured in the store. Now, I am a conspiracy theorist. I think they pumped chemicals in the air to make us spend more.
I think sometimes you also just kind of get caught up in the moment. What we have to do, we have to kind of look at when we say emotional receipts, we need to look at emotionally why we're actually purchasing something and start putting the emotion receipt beside what we got, So if we spent $200 for a handbag, were we doing that emotionally because we were rewarding ourselves, or was it an escape mentally, financially? I'm just going to escape from all this other stuff that's going on and just purchase something that's going to give me pleasure. So attaching the emotional part to the purchase, like dinner, maybe you go out and you splurge $100 dinner. You did it with your girlfriends. They were all getting drinks and appetizers, and I don't want to look like the weak link or the broke one. I'll get a cocktail and an appetizer and dessert too. And I know me personally, when I spend a lot of money eating out, I really do feel guilty because one, I didn't need to eat that food probably anyway. Certainly, it would have been healthier for me not to have eaten it. And I didn't need 2 cocktails or 3, and certainly not dessert on top of it. So now I'm feeling guilty for spending. I don't have anything to show for it other than some extra pounds. So that one I can easily kind of stop doing.
Okay, this is one I want to do, but talk me out of it. Beauty treatments. I don't know if there's some women of a particular age listening, but it's like, ooh, where'd that wrinkle come? I can't erase that wrinkle. So let's get some Botox.
Botox, yeah. I think that emotional receipt would be maybe confidence. Totally legit. Beauty treatments and enhancements give you more confidence in the way you look and feel. So that's worth spending money. Another one is vacations. And we all deserve to have a vacation. That receipt may be escape. The emotional receipt is escape. I needed an escape. I think a lot of times with vacation is underestimate what we really are spending, because once you book your trip, you you know how much the trip and the airfare and the hotel and all of that. But I think the part that we underestimate is all of the other things that we did in preparation for the vacation. Like you said, the shopping. A lot of my friends, they get braids when they go into the beach. That's another expense. And you got to get new outfits to wear. And maybe you even need new luggage because the last time you got off the plane, they threw it halfway across the beltway. So your your luggage is looking kind of shabby, and you're going, like you said, with your girlfriends, and so you need designer luggage. So all of a sudden, this vacation that was maybe only $1,500 or $3,000 to actually book the vacation itself, but now we've spent more in preparation for it. And I think that's where these extra costs and, as we are saying, emotional receipts and lifestyle traps us when it comes to the holidays in particular, because the holidays is a time when you're doing some extra stuff.
You can plan your 20-minute strategy call with Joyce Palmer by calling 704-543-6269. Now, this is a complimentary consultation to see where you're at, right? If you need a retirement guide, just text the word guide, GUIDE, to 704-412-2665. Today's episode, it's sponsored by JPFG Wealth Management because they provide the roadmap for us to get to our financial destination in the most efficient way. So you can log on and learn more at jpfgwealthmanagement.com.
Me personally, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. I enjoy Thanksgiving, so I tend to go a little over the top for Thanksgiving and Christmas too. But for me, it starts in October, is my birthday, so I go over the top for that. October starts the birthday, November is Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday. And then there's Christmas, you have to do something for the kids.
Let's do a lightning round. If you get a $10,000 bonus, because my bank girls, honey, they be bringing in the bonuses. What's a smarter move? Put every penny away for retirement, give every dollar a job before spending it. What between those two?
Answer is B. Give every dollar a job before spending it. So I don't believe every extra dollar has to go into retirement. That would be totally unrealistic. You work for the money and you should be able to enjoy some of it. But before that bonus, in this case, 10,000 bonus, which is really sweet. And we talk a lot about this, giving your dollars a job, giving your dollars a purpose. And so maybe 2,000 is for something fun and reward yourself, if you will. Maybe 3,000 goes toward scale down some of the debt. And then 4,000 maybe goes into your retirement, into your investment account. And then you always want to add some dollars to your emergency fund because that's what the emergency fund is there for. When emergencies come up, you don't have to go into your long-term money. So if you look at it, every dollar has a job, has a purpose, and you have already kind of divided your buckets. We talk about the buckets, having money for now, having money for soon, having money for later, having monies that's going to be tax-free later versus monies that's always going to be taxed. So thinking about those purposes for your dollars and then saying, okay, I've fallen into this bonus, so I'm going to divide it between those different buckets.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one, Joyce. You're 58, 59 years old. You got $500,000. You got $500,000 saved for retirement. Tell your friend. And they reply, well, that's probably enough.
I'm afraid not. It's really going to depend on what your retirement income and expenses are. We have been conditioned to look at retirement as a number. I need 500,000. I need $1 million. I need 750,000. So we've been conditioned to look at retirement as this number, this amount that we're going to accumulate, and then we'll be okay. But those numbers, although they may sound impressive, they don't really tell you whether or not you can really retire comfortably or not. The real question should be, how much income does the money need to produce for me every month? And how long will the money last? So then we have to ask, if I need 7,000 a month to maintain my lifestyle, that's a very different retirement than someone who maybe needs 3,500 to maintain their lifestyle. The question becomes, how much do I need? What are my expenses? How long? Because none of us have a crystal ball to know when we're going to go. But, sometimes longevity runs in your family and you got a really high probability of living long. Other times it may be your health is not that great and you're racing to retirement because the timeline could be short. So you also have to take in consideration other income sources, Social Security. Do you have a pension? So that would matter. Maybe someone who has only 100,000 or 200,000 in their retirement account, but they have a really substantial pension amount. And then where are your investments coming from? Are they coming out of qualified accounts that you have to share those proceeds with your Uncle Sam? So that whole amount is really not yours. There's just a ton of other things you got to take in consideration. So I think just looking at that number and saying, oh, I have 500,000 or I have 1,000,000 and falling under the false pretense that that's enough may not be so good. A health scare or a health condition could literally wipe out $1,000,000 portfolio overnight. I think instead of focusing on a number, the focus should be on how much of this can I convert to income when I retire.
You're
Mhm.
teaching us to have a paycheck in retirement. Today's episode, the conversation is to bring light to those conversations we have in our head. We don't want to talk about out loud. So get your 20-minute complimentary consultation with Joyce. It's a strategy call. That's what money is. It's a strategy. Call 704-543-6269. Now, if you are in your 40s and 50s and you're going to retire, you're going to live long, text the word guide so you can get your retirement guide to 704-412-2665. And today's episode is brought to you by JPFG Wealth Management because they provide us with a roadmap to get to our financial destination in the most efficient way. Learn more, log on jpfgwealthmanagement.com. Should we go on this $20,000 luxury vacation if we could put those points? Those points, them points are important.
Can I use points to get my $20,000 luxury vacation? I'm afraid that's not the right answer either. And even though you may deserve it, that's not the right answer either. The answer to that would be, will the purchase change your retirement timeline or your income plan? The emotional receipt comes full circle here because emotionally, you may absolutely feel like you deserve that trip, and you probably do, in all honesty. You've worked hard, you've raised your children, you've got them through school and made sacrifices, you've taken care of everybody else, and now you're ready to put yourself first instead of last. So in your mind, and I would agree, yes, you probably do deserve it. But that's not the financial question. That's the emotional question. So emotionally, yes. Financially, the question should be, can I afford this experience without compromising the future that I'm trying to build? The answer is yes. I mean, if you have the means and it's not going to compromise your future retirement, it's not going to take a big, huge chunk out of your long-term retirement monies, then yes, go for it, right? Take pictures, get the ocean view, enjoy it, right? But if 20,000 means you're going to be delaying your retirement or increasing your debt or pulling money from an account that was supposed to produce future income or pulling from an account that would have been your long-term care dollars, you have to ask yourself, am I spending today's money or am I spending tomorrow's money? When approaching retirement, stop and think, yeah, I deserve the money. Figure out retirement when I get there. That one is one. Fortunately, most of the ladies that I work with and talk with don't take that approach. Now, there are some that do. Maybe they don't take that approach because they're coming and talking to me and they know that's not acceptable. Honestly, I do find most women are trying to be more proactive. They are concerned about planning in advance for their retirement. They don't want to wait to the last minute to figure it out. Circumstances and life happens that make it more difficult sometimes to plan further in advance, but the intention is there. We have to know exactly how much we can spend safely. And that's the hard part, trying to determine how much can I spend without overspending. And, oddly enough, we see sometimes people are afraid to spend because they don't know how much they can spend. So they have this lump sum of money, they have put this money away, and they've heard in their head, yes, it's got to last me. So now instead of spending, they're afraid to spend because they don't want to run out. So they're holding on to the money because they don't know when it's going to run out. And that's because they're not operating with a plan. They're not operating with a clarity as to what those dollars are going to do, how they're going to grow the dollars, and how they're going to have money allocated for income for a lifetime. There are women that work really hard and then they're afraid to spend the money.
This is what we're going to ask. You have formulas. So we come to you with a situation. And I know we can't solve everything on the strategy call, the 20-minute complimentary strategy call, but that's when you become a client and it gets a little deeper. So is there a formula?
There is. There is a formula. There's a formula and it's pretty simple. I mean, you look at what you need versus what you want. First, we make that distinction. Sometimes we get it twisted. We put things that are wants in the category of needs, but then we also look at where we can stress test our numbers. I think that's the piece that makes the planning so important because like you say, if I have $500,000, but it's all in qualified monies, I really don't have 500,000 because I have to account for taxes. Versus if I had 500,000 and it was in a Roth, that's 500,000. We have to account for where the money is and how it's positioned. And then we have to look at stress testing our expenses because things go up. We have to count in inflation. Got to throw that curveball in there if we have a health challenge. What does that mean? We got to take in consideration if we are a mother and we have children that still somewhat rely on us or still need our assistance. Or maybe we have grands that we want to really, help out and make their lives fun and better. So all of those are the things we have to take in consideration. So we stress test the numbers. And then once we stress test the numbers, we know exactly what we need and we know that our guaranteed income is coming in every month, predictable. It's not exposed to losses. It's not fluctuating. Now we can go and enjoy our paycheck. We have a paycheck and a playcheck. The playcheck, that's right. You got to have two checks, paycheck and a playcheck. You can play as much as you want with your playcheck.
If you're just not tuning in, today's conversation is uncomfortable like it always is. I'm your co-host, Fran Marie, with Joyce Palmer, our host of the show, managing partner and CEO with JP Financial Group. You can plan your complimentary strategy call with her. 20 minutes, 704-543-6269. We could ask all those questions out loud to a real professional instead of the auntie and friend. We all need a guide, a how-to book, right? We don't have the how-to book how to raise a child, but we got the how-to book how to retire this life. Text the word guide, the GUIDE, to 704-412-2665. Today's episode is sponsored by JPFG Wealth Management because they provide the roadmap to get us to our financial destination in the most efficient way. Learn more, log on to jpfgwealthmanagement.com. I think these shows are vital because not every financial advisor with their own agency is going to appeal to you. They may want, if you don't have a husband, they don't want to talk to you. If you can't bring the husband in, they don't want to talk to you. There's still that stigma over women's, girl, we are CEOs of households. Sorry, doubting us. And with the holidays coming up, and we're like, I'm not going to be spending like I did last year. And you end up spending like you did last year, even more. What are some emotional triggers to make us buy more? I know one is if I see another woman with something I like, I'm like, I want it.
And I'm laughing because you remind me of my cousin who is a shopaholic. And when she's in the stores, her emotional triggers is exactly that. It's like it's at limited time or only 3 left. And she swears, yes, they said it's only 3 left. So I have to get mine. And I want to say no, because that's just something you're saying. It's really more than 3 left. No, it may not be. I gotta get it. So that's a trigger. During the holidays, the Black Friday sales. And what's amazing about Black Friday sales, I thought at first it was only like Black Friday after Thanksgiving or something like that. But the Black Friday sales start in October. So every Friday is a Black Friday, Black Friday sale. Prime Day, I think Amazon does that one, right? Prime Day discounts. So those are triggers. Last chance to get this. Everybody's buying it. And of course, the one that we've said already, you deserve it. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. It's Thursday, girl. Treat yourself.
So all of those are triggers. Those triggers make it urgent. The minute we hear that, we stop asking the question and we start saying, okay, I need to get it. Triggers take away the logic.
Yeah, because I need this dopamine hit right now. My boss made me mad. My coworkers, I can't stand them, so I'm going shopping.
Right.
What's that got to do with the price of corn? It doesn't. Doesn't.
That's it.
And social media, I don't know if we're going to admit it out loud, but those
Mm.
social media posts with regular people doing, I tried this, you must too. We're going to believe them and then we're
My-
going to buy it.
The holidays, I think, heightens all of those things. They're always going on, but during the holidays, the closer you get to the holidays, the more you see the commercials and, like I said, social media increases. So we can definitely get caught up.
You know what my mom used to make us do? I don't know if they still have it. Remember banks used to have a Christmas book? Remember that? And you would every week you go put $25 in and write it down. That's back in the old days, y'all. And then we would have enough for the holiday.
And that's actually not a bad way to save for the holidays, believe it or not. You know, our parents, especially our moms, they had some savvy money skills that we just took for granted. So, in actuality, that's a really good way, to be honest, because what you've done, if you think about it, you've kind of identified a purpose for that dollar, that $20 or that $10 that you put away. Every month, you put it away into the Christmas fund. In the old days, literally, you went to the bank and put it there. Now you just can shift it over to that account. But the physically going there and the act of putting it there answered that emotional part. I'm putting this money away for Christmas. I'm putting this money away. So it was the anticipation. It was looking forward to it. It was building, and every time you went, you saw the account was a little bit more, a little bit more. So now you could look forward to and anticipate all the things you could get for Christmas because you've been saving all year. And when you got there at Christmas time, that was the budget. It was no unlimited budget. It was what you had put away. So, yeah, that was actually brilliant. Our parents were financially savvy, smart, great budgeters.
Yeah, and they never told us their problems. Parents between the months of August and December, but y'all putting out a lot of money because school's starting. There's pressure there. Even if you wear uniforms, you got to buy them. How can we put on the brakes for the holiday? Give it to us.
I use a rule, I call it the 72-hour rule. It almost works like compound interest, the rule of 72 and compound interest, which is also a financial rule that tells you how long it takes your money to double. The 72-hour rule is if it's not something you genuinely need, wait 72 hours before buying it. So give yourself a pause. Put it in your cart, maybe if you're online shopping, put it in a cart, save it, go away, come back. Take a picture of it. If you're out somewhere, take a picture and then leave, right? Save the link and walk away. And then ask yourself 3 questions. Would I still buy this if nobody else ever saw it?
Oh,
Yep, that's a powerful question because it separates what you want from what you're buying for approval. And then you ask the emotional question, of course. Am I getting this because I'm stressed? Am I lonely? Am I celebrating? Am I bored? What's the emotional receipt that's attached to this purchase? And then will buying this affect something I want more? So I want to have this more than I want to have something else. And if it's not more than, I probably don't need it because I rather have the retirement I want, or I'd rather pay the house off early, or I'd rather travel in retirement. So if this purchase is going to be a trade-off from doing something that I'd rather do, then I don't need it.
in retirement, we do need to stay busy. And that's why some people do get a little part-time job. Something, a hobby, working at the map store. And the guy told me he's working at the map store. Yeah, because he likes geography. Okay. Good. But yeah, find your magic. Find what you like and do it. Because retirement is coming.
Yes.
Not if, it's when.
Mm-hmm.
Today's conversation was very uncomfortable, I know. But you can always get your complimentary financial strategy call with Joyce. Plan that 20-minute call by calling 704-543-6269. You need a retirement guide. Text the word guide to 704-412-2665. And we have to thank JPFG Wealth Management for being a sponsor today because they provide the roadmap for us to get to our financial destination in the most efficient way. You can log on and learn more. JPFGWealthManagement.com. Joyce Palmer retired over 300 families. That's no easy feat. If you've never heard her origin money story, go back and listen. It's a couple of episodes back. We're on YouTube as well, Proactive Women Podcast. We're on all the streaming platforms, dog. Yeah. So as we leave today, we want to thank everybody. Last words from our fabulous one.
So we believe that you have to build it, you have to manage it, and then you have to grow it. And pink is the new color of money.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Proactive Women Presents the Uncomfortable Financial Conversations with Women. We want to know your truth. You can log on to jpfinancialgroupllc.com. You can listen to the show on demand on all streaming platforms. You like watching YouTube? We're there too. Our handle is The Proactive Woman Podcast. We'll see you next week, same time, same station. And you have a great week, okay?
Bye-bye, everybody.